Yeah.
Okay. Looks like we're good.
Yeah.
We're live. Greetings, everybody. Thank you for the divine focus.
We got it. Are we
Yes,
on?
it looks like we're good. Can you guys hear us? Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, they can hear us. Perfect. So we've obviously had a couple of technical difficulties. The ego is trying to stop us from continuing our 50-day streak.
Yeah. 50, yeah, 50-year anniversary.
50-year anniversary.
50 days.
Oh, and it's working on all the platforms. Perfect. Let's go.
Way to go, Will. I'm going to keep you on, bud.
Hey, no, the ego is no match for Team Divinity. Oh man.
Well, welcome everyone. Nice to have you here. Thanks for your patience. It's nice to be able. Good job. It wasn't up to me to do the technical part. This would be next year. So, yeah.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah, appreciate it, bud. So anyway, there's two pieces to this, what we're doing. Once again, it's the consciousness, which is what we've been spending a lot of time on since we put it into this format, and then the currency. I know little to none on the currency. It's like, okay, Jamie, just do what you do, bud. And, but this gentleman right here beside me, what's your name again?
Hold on, let me remember. My name is Sam, for the ones that don't know.
And I am going to say, I I have to ask a lot of people a lot of questions now because I'm so far removed from the 3D world. It's beyond, it's almost like I need somebody on each side of me to tell me which is left and which is right. And
So I'm one of God's babysitters.
I do have a few of them. And anyway, the key about it is there's some things that are happening for the team. And, and one of where's that equal half of yours? Where's that equal half of yours?
Upstairs.
Well, you're going to need her in a couple of minutes. So I mentioned briefly yesterday about what happened with Donna and Tim. Now, please, this 3D world and names and all of that is crazy, bizarre. I'm in the Philippines and everybody's trying to teach me Filipino language. Well, good luck. Like, I'll remember my name tomorrow morning. And but anyway, I want to, because it's so close. I want to share something that how this is going to work for your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, your partners, your relatives, all of those that you're going to invite here. So what I want to do is, and I'm trusting that Tim and Donna are on the call. No, we don't have that right now. The seeing names, or maybe do we have it?
We do, but it doesn't look like Tim and Donna are on.
Okay, they don't have to be. But so I'm going to give
Paul
you.
and Donna.
Oh,
Paul.
I'm sorry. Paul and Donna.
Paul is, yes, Paul is.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. You guys, you might as well get used to it. You just might as well get used to it because I can't remember those things. Okay. When I'm saying things, it's just an automatic stream and the universe is working through me in the moment, intuitively. So names, locations, who did what, but I remember situations. And so the situation was when, once again, their names?
Paul and Donna.
Paul and Donna. Okay, Paul and Donna. And so many of you are on the call when I started asking them both these questions. Well, as you know, they had a pretty powerful experience. And even though I only did partial, I didn't do like, I just hit the big pieces and whatever. But when I was finished off the call with the both of them, actually the whole event, I looked around, and here is my technical genius, Will, crying, and his wife, Chester, on the couch, and she's crying. And they're both crying because they identified the same programs and patterns in them. And because they both have such gigantically big hearts, it was incredibly painful for them to be doing what they were doing with how much they loved their partner. And I ended up working with both of them right after. So Will, if you'd like to sit here and share a bit of that experience or what happened, or.
Hello, everyone. Can I use the mic? What's that now? I share them.
Just share, yeah, you share instead of me telling you something.
Hi, everyone. So it was day 47, I think, that stream when Paul and Donna share their that call with Paul and Donna where the topic is about Superman, he being a Superman. And the main key which made me realize was your ego is triggering someone's ego. So I realized that I'm also doing that to my partner.
I was.
I am.
I was.
I was, yeah. Because it's not here anymore.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, both of us crying on that stream. And after that, we worked with Dawn. I told Dawn everything that's happening on our side. The ego there was dumping the blames on you to other persons without even you're not noticing it. And then the other part, or the person you blamed, triggered also her toxic patterns, which is playing small or sometimes retaliate. So that's the problem there.
Was.
Yeah.
So he's Filipino. He hasn't got that
Yeah.
the past tense first. So
not that good.
I'm just going to correct and make sure that you get it right.
Yeah. So that's the toxic patterns there, and Dawn nailed it. I realized it, both of us, my wife. Then the transformation happened,
Yeah.
and I'm free as a bird now, both of us, and every day's really, really awesome. We're journaling everything that we need to do to keep us way closer to our light and be in our light all the time. That's it.
So thanks, bud. Appreciate
Don.
it, Will. Well, I got to say that I can't go on without something around me as well. Like I'm a human being, human. And there was something happening in my marriage And I was wanting my Filipino wife to do the process. And she had zero interest. She had a ton of phobias, sometimes suicidal. And I'm thinking, okay, I can't watch this anymore. I can't watch it. I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to just walk away. And so, and just give up all of the things that had to do with us. Because being in my divinity and holding it and then being around people is really important. And so I had already made the decision that, and I had asked her different times, but there was no reply whatsoever, none. Only this time, my request, the decision I made is, if it's not a yes today, we're finished. That's simple. And so what was awesome was that she was like a 4-hour drive from here. I'm here in Davao right now, but we have a place on Divinity Mountain in Bugenbayan, Sadarat, Kataran, or something like that. Anyway, and that's where she was. She was up there on Divinity Mountain. And anyway, I got her to, just give me a sec, I just recall how I did that. Oh yeah, I was getting her to come here, but she couldn't because of her daughter's special thing. So I said, okay, well, let's do it on the phone. And how I did it was I got Jamie's sweetheart, Nina, to talk to her in Filipino. And what was beautiful about it was that she agreed totally. She's taking the process tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So
That's amazing.
it was, yeah, I can't be in a relationship with someone that's not in their life. That's just too much effort. You know, it's like can't communicate. Like how are you going to communicate? You know, like
It's already hard to communicate in Filipino rather than a whole other energetic language.
exactly. So anyway, the great news is she said yes, and we're doing it all.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's very, very exciting. So once again, I don't go unscathed from living in the 3D world and dealing with the 3D world. You know? So anyway, so there we have it.
That's wonderful. Amazing.
Yeah, wonderful and amazing. Wonderful and amazing. And at the same time, it's like the answer is no. I'm out of here. That was clear. That was crystal clear. And she probably picked that up, even though she was 4 hours away. So anyway, it was certainly the answer I was really counting on for sure. So I definitely didn't want to break up, but I definitely was prepared to. That's simple. My divinity is the most important. Yeah, always was, always will. Well, it wasn't always. Probably 10 years, and but it is now. Yeah.
Well, that's great news because the last time we talked at Starbucks, you were like, okay, I'm just leaving it up to the divine plan. And
Right.
yeah, it's perfect. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, and it did like she didn't want to come up here, and anyway, it was just a constant, and hey, all worked out divinely, and I was prayed, okay, done and done. I have no problem finding a new lady, that's for sure. I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. I'm just like, you know, there's 10 a day. Um, and so that's not a bragging. I'm just saying there's so many. And what's his name?
Hawkins?
Dr. Hawkins talks about that. That's one of the biggest things that he had to deal with when he raised his consciousness. He said, like, I get 4 to 6 hits a day. It's like, and
I feel that.
and so that is what happens when we're in our light, when you're in your light. And but it's the ego. It's like, oh yeah, it's so beautiful. I'm so handsome. It's like, I just keep it at bay. I like it. When I was in Dubai, well, I have a picture. I think it's 10 or 12 women around me. Like they're just all around. Okay, let's take a picture. And so that happened all the time. Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because I was listening to him talk about it, and he was talking about how the spiritual ego is created, is how whenever people start to become attracted to your light, and then you're like, oh, it's because of me.
Right.
And then that's how like these cults are formed. Like, oh, I am God. Like,
Yeah.
and you're not. like,
You are, but you don't know it yet.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what the spiritual ego says.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I am, but you're not.
Yeah,
But like
right.
what we're saying is that you are, and we all are.
Yeah. So it's like there's no superiority to this. There is zero superiority. Wherever you are right now on the conscious scale, whether it's 100 or 200 or 300 or 500, I'm at these high levels only because of the amount of time that I have put into perfecting dawn. Okay, that's it. And you would probably surpass me by, truckloads if you put in the same amount of time. Okay. And so, yeah, I do. And I have to keep my ego at bay. Think, oh, I'm so special. It's so beautiful. And yeah, no. So we are moving forward with one objective in mind, just to raise humanity's consciousness to 700. And I watched a pretty dark movie last night. I came in and Jamie was here and he was watching the movie, and it was a massacre at in India, on the famous hotel, and they were killing all the the Americans, and it was Allah is going to bless you, he's going to kill, and just crazy things. And so there's darkness everywhere and there's light everywhere. And our job is to hold that light, so that darkness, it's no different. It's no different than if it's pitch black night, no moon, and you walk in with a big light, a flashlight or something, and you can see. And if you don't, you can't see. And so what this is about is opening up that gigantic heart of ours. And once again, I have difficulty connecting the person with the event and the name and all of that. So forgive me ahead of time for that. I just remember the story. That's pretty well it for me. That's what I remember. And yeah, so it's like these programs and patterns we have running, and just like Will and Chesser, just bouncing against each other. And then this buddy here attracting the ones that had it.
I mean, and also with my ex-wife, we did the process with you as well. It was the same thing happened.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. So whether it's a new relationship, and if you're leaving a relationship, you better damn well do some cleaning up before you leave, because you're going to attract the same one again. All that's going to happen, they may have a different color hair, and there's a pretty big chance they'll have a different name, They have the same patterns. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And the universe finds a way, nature finds a way to hide it on you long enough to procreate, you know, so we can keep the race going. So those kind of things are happening behind the scenes or under the sheets or whatever way, whatever way you want to put it. And so yeah, and that's what's going on. And so how we do this is raise our consciousness. And that's what this is about. And the higher we raise it, once again, 114 at 700. 114 at 700. Okay, that's it. And for those of you that are excited to be one of those, and one of those that truly want to get to 700, not for any other reason other than, oh my God, like the light. And that's the biggest thing for me, no matter where I go, and it's especially with children, especially with children. And I mentioned just last week, 10 days ago, I think, or so, I was at a function. It was, oh yes, Denelda. So I remember I was still in, I don't know where in the hell I was, but I had, oh yeah, I was in Dubai, right? Davao. Was it or Dubai? I doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And Rachma, my wife, who I wasn't my wife yet, her sister was pregnant with a baby, and it was a girl. And they were checking names, and then her sister said, ask Don for a name with his name in it. And I said, okay. Denelda. That's the baby's name, Denelda. And it's a beautiful little gorgeous thing. And so it's that all of these kind of things that happen over time, and you know, I really truly, in all honesty, you know, I was not too interested in a female. I was interested in the divinity. I just, what it wasn't maybe for 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I was like, okay, this is what I'm here on the planet for. It's not for a distraction from a partner or whatever, any of those kind of things. It's like, okay. And so and when I got to a certain level, it was like, okay, I got a big chunk of it here now. Now I can well, I needed to find someone that would be open to me being the way I am, because I'm really not, there's not too many matches out there with the way I interact with the universe and with people and in relationships, whatever. So anyway, lots going on. So thanks for sharing there, Will.
Also, I'd like to mention that story. We had just came the other day in your truck. It was me, you, and Jamie, and we were pulling into Jamie's house here, and there's probably like 8 kids.
Oh,
And Don just like says, "Hey, you guys," and like literally, like I'm talking about like the most innocent, pure joy. Like these kids are like, "Hi, Don, hi, hi." I'm like, oh my God, like what? Like it's insane. Like I've never seen something like that. And so like the stories he's telling you, like that's just one of them. I'm sure he has probably like a billion. Like,
yeah, actually. Yeah. Especially when I was in Dubai Mall in Dubai. Once again, I shared that at different times. It's the largest mall in the world, and I'd be walking and male, female, like kids, adults, little kids just leaving their mother or father and walking over to me. And the crazy things that the parents do, and I told you one of these, I was walking into a Honda motorcycle shop, and two things happened. One of them was there was 5 women walking out. So it was kind of a wide driveway type thing. And there was 5 women walking out. I'm walking towards them. And the one on the far left, she had a baby. Now, sometimes they're pretty good at age, but, probably 1 or, 6 months, somewhere in that vicinity. And the mother said, "Please, will you hold my baby? She hasn't stopped looking at you since we saw you." And so she just passed me her baby. Complete stranger. How crazy is it? Do that in downtown New York. Like, or expect that in downtown New York. And that same store, same driveway, there was a guy on a Honda motorcycle. And I was just checking them out, whether I get a motorcycle or what, for skipping around. And so here's a guy on a motorcycle, on the one that I was looking at, like a 250 Honda. And I said, "Oh, nice bike. How do you like it?" "Oh, you'd like to take it for a drive? Here's the key." He gave it to me and got out of the way and let me take it for a drive. Like, yes, the Philippines is overly friendly. I agree, but still.
You read my mind. I was just thinking that.
So yeah, it's pretty neat. And that's how we, as in Will, Sam, and I, and all the rest, and all of you, will shine your light. And those, was it 8 or 10 kids?
Yeah, I guess.
They were the joy and the bliss that they were experiencing. Would you agree?
Yes. I'd never seen something like that.
Right. So that's not a one-off. That's not a one-off. So where my wife is, there's two communities. So one where her mother and father are, and there's, like in the Philippines, there's like 4 or 5 or 6 houses, and there's all these people there, and they're all related or something. And then there's another one where she was staying with her and her brother and his wife, and oh yeah, and the mother, father are in that first one and whatever. And there's kids in each one of those communities. Each one of those communities, there's kids. And when I walk out, or if I come in from somewhere, or I walk out in the morning, whatever, they all come running, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and give me hugs, like from this high to this high.
I've seen that too, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, whenever we went to Divinity Mountain, they're like, "Daddy, Daddy." I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, it's imagine you get like having that impact on people. And those kids like doing things that are off the light. They're off the light, what they're doing from being in this energy. Like writing songs or singing, like whatever, playing different games than they ever played before. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting? So that's what we're here to do. It's to raise humanity's consciousness. Do you think those little kids raised their conscience? Think those 8 that were out there that I only recognize 3 of them. Okay? I only recognize 3. And as an example. So, so there you have it. That's what we're here for. So get busy and get your transformation in. And then shine like the sun. So others say, what in the hell happened to you? What is going on in your world? I've never seen you this happy, or I've never seen you this glowing, like what are you on? You know, what drug are you on? And that's your job. That's your job to get in. Clean up your programs and patterns, because none of them are who you are. None of them are who you are. It's who you think you are. And that really, really, really boom, awesome moment of you being in your light is who you are, and you're meant to be there 24/7. That's it. That's it. That is what you're here for, is to be in that light 24/7. And then see what happens. So that's the exciting thing. And it's awesome when, especially little kids, respond to that. So there's no questioning, who is that guy? What's he doing? Is he trying to get something from me? You know, it's none of that. It is literally none of that. They're just allowing themselves to be themselves naturally. So anyway, it's pretty cool. Really.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad you saw that, Sam, like especially the kids and whatever, you know.
I think that was, when was that? I think that might have been like the day before my transformation with you.
Okay.
Like the actually getting to the deep rooted, like the first initial program.
Right.
Yeah, and you were like, how would you like to have that? And so like whenever Jamie and I talked, I was like, yeah, like, well, I mean, I want that.
Right.
And I mean, I've had similar experiences, not like 8 kids just jumping for joy, but like I've had little children like just like waving at me at the mall, or just smiling really big, can't stop staring at me, or just hugging me, like random kids. So yeah, it's really awesome. I mean, there's nothing else that you can actually do to change or help elevate the world, right? Like all the
More than that,
wars
yeah.
and the greed and all that is like completely gone. I mean, none of that exists in that kind of consciousness.
No, and that's why we focus on us being in our light rather than trying to get rid of their darkness. There's a big difference. It's us raising our light. And I learned that a little while ago with this atrocious monster that started something that went around the world. I'm not going to bother putting a word to it. And was now working on another something else that was going to be even worse. And I was thinking, F you, like, you know, Don, back off. Like, no, we're not doing it that way, you know. And so I got back into, okay, nope, it's me finding out how to accelerate my consciousness. And I've been doing that. I found some really, really powerful fast tracks on that. And I spend copious amounts of time, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in the early morning. And yeah, I put God to the test. Like, you know. Okay, quit slowing things up here. Give me the fast track. Give me something there. Give me something that's not so long. Of course, I know what the answer is. It's me that's slowing it up. But anyway, that's for another day. Yeah. So what were we doing? We were going to do something here a few minutes ago. What was that?
I have no clue.
Well, do you remember?
We're just here. I mean, we're
No,
just
we
there.
were, yeah, what was it? There was something we were going to do, wasn't it? We had, we were looking, anybody on the call know what we're?
I don't think we had anything specifically in mind. But I will say I'll share something because I didn't share this with you yesterday. So I went to the gym and I was talking to one of my cousins from Canada. He lives in Ottawa. And he's like, I was like talking to him, like, hey, you know, like we were talking because he was my videographer when I went to Hawaii like a couple of years ago, and we had like the most amazing experience. I mean, like this is in the COVID lockdown, and like every single person that was in Hawaii was like locked down, and they weren't able to like leave or anything. But we, like my group, like my two business partners and him, we were the only ones that were able to get away with anything. And he's like, dude, like. I'm like talking to him about this divinity process. He's like, dude, this reminds me of Hawaii. And so we're talking, and he's telling me about how he went to Whistler to ski with my brother. My brother is
Brother or mother?
No, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, so my brother, he's like heavily in the religious programs. Like he's literally memorized the Quran from like cover to cover. Like, but you know, he knows it all. Like, and he does all the mechanical stuff. And I'm telling my cousin about how, you know, my brother is like kind of been attacking me. Like he's like, you know, you're on some bullshit and da 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 da. And then we end up talking about you. We're talking about skiing and all this stuff. And at the exact same moment I'm talking about Whistler and skiing, you sent me that message about the Olympic skier.
Oh
The exact same moment. I swear, not even 5 seconds went by without me mentioning your name and skiing. You sent me that message. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, okay. And then like I started having like this whole full body tingle. And I'm like, okay, I understand what's happening now. Like on a deep embodiment level, it's like, yeah, we're all connected. And yeah, so it's interesting. If you got that, I mean,
by the way, that was Mike Janik. He's a World Cup skier and Olympic skier. And I had the privilege of skiing with him. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
The testimony was really awesome as well.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Like it was, if I can get it right now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's worth like just crazy when you compare the traditional system and this. Okay. So this is Olympic and World Cup skier Mike Janik. After commencing Dawn's instant transformation process, I came to see clearly that my back problems were from suppressed emotions locked in my subconscious. It was exciting news to know there was something I myself could do to resolve this issue. Now, isn't that an important thing? I'm not doing this to you. You are doing this for you. Big difference. I went from going to physiotherapy daily for 3 years. Daily for 3 years. Now the lights are coming on. To none in the last year. How crazy is that? How absolutely amazingly crazy is that? Okay, going from physio daily for 3 years to none in the next year. So who wouldn't want that? Like there should be every athlete, like, and lots of times with athletes, I work with their injuries, speed their process up. And I was with the Oilers, and this Billy Guerin had had an ankle sprain or something. They said he will not be able to put weight on it for 14 days. I took him through the process. He was skiing on 9, or playing hockey on 9, on the 9th day. He wasn't going to be able to put weight until the 14th.
Wow.
So like, yeah, like on and on. The injury thing is really big, how powerful it is to shift it. And yeah, so just them getting their head around the disbelief, like, how is that possible? So there's so much in their head, and it's just that's the biggest reason. You know, Ian Leggett, World Cup, PGA golfer, PGA, and he was pretty well to the end of his career. He had so many injuries, and I worked with him on a Monday, and he hadn't been making the cut at all. He was just finishing out his time. And I worked with him on Monday, and he made his first cut in I don't know how long. And then he just kept getting better and better and better. And then one of his buddies recognized that it wasn't on the tour, and it happened to be Jim Balsley, the co-CEO of Research in Motion, the BlackBerry phone. And it was interesting because, and I'm saying, I'm spending a little time on this to give you an idea of what can happen for you. Okay, so if you put yourself in the category of Ian, the golfer, that's you now. You've taken my process, and now you're walking. In his case, he's on the tour, and now wow, he's not only making the cut, but he's in the playoff on Sunday. Big difference from making the cut and being in the playoff. And he never said a word to anybody. He calls Ian, Jim. Okay, what the hell happened to you? Well, he doesn't curse. What happened to you? What's going on with you? What happened that you're playing? You're on Sunday in the playoff, bud. I've watched you now for the last 5 years. And he said, oh, this guy in Vancouver, his name is Don, he does this and this and this. Give me his number. He calls me up. Yeah, he's talking to Ian. Can you deal with this? Yeah. How about this? Yeah. How about this and this and this? Yeah, no problem. Okay. What about this one? La, 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 la. Yeah. Okay. What's the cost of when we start? And that was it. That was it. I don't know how many he sent me. I'd say maybe 140, 160. And those were at 100,000 piece. Okay. They weren't cheap. And yeah, he just kept sending me people. All his buddies, all the business class, all the, you know, like the billionaires, multimillionaires. Yeah. And that was all Jim. He did the CEO, COO. And just to give you an idea, and I'm saying this from the perspective of how this can spread and how you can immensely benefit from. So what happened was he got actually the COO had a little bit of a drinking problem and a little bit of a marriage problem. And so I took him through the process, and like they flew out from Toronto to work with me, and they had already agreed to a divorce. They had already agreed to the divorce. And when they were done that weekend, the divorce was off the table completely. Okay. And what happened was the co-CEO, the COO, the head of human resources, and I forget what there was, five. There was five in the room. That day, they sent me 60. They went through the list of them all. I was sitting there with them. I'd say, what about Harry? And what about Tom? And what about Sally? And what about 63 or 64 they gave me one day. Okay? Imagine you doing that. Imagine you in your circle doing that. And having them come in and having their experience, and then those going out and them having their experience. Imagine that. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. And it's not pushing and forcing and trying to get somebody to do it. Do not try to convince someone. Do not. It's like somebody says, you look different there, bud. What's going on? Like, there's something different about you. What is it? That's the kind of conversations that you're going to be having. That's the kind. I've known you for years. I've never seen you with that smile, or I've never seen you so happy, or I've never seen you so, like, just so bubbly, or whatever. You were so withdrawn before. Now you're wanting us to take part with, like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's your job to fill up this planet with those, so we can whittle it down to the 114 at 700. That's it. Simple. Got it? So, are you on board? What do you think about that? And all you have to do is be you. That's it. And tell the truth when somebody says, what in the hell's going on with you? That's it. Pretty simple. Would you agree? Okay. And so we have, Sam, if you could explain where we're at with that, whatever in the hell it's called, I don't even know. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll take it over here.
Exactly.
So like Don said, all you really have to do is just hold your light, and
Yeah.
and things are gonna like align for you in so many beautiful, miraculous ways. I'll give you an example, and then I will talk about what we have going on as far as I Am Divinity and how you guys can benefit on it. Of course, just having your light, that's the biggest benefit you'll ever have. But we also have the financial aspects on how you can actually monetize this just by sharing your light. So literally a few days before I messaged Don, I'm like, hey Don, I need help because I don't know how to surrender, because I kept on like going in and out of my light, right? Like there was just authentically, like, like I was giving up my light for these women, okay? And as soon as I told Don and we did the process, one of our units, because I have a corporate leasing company in America, one of our units that like literally the day, I think it was the day of or the day before, my COO, he messaged me, he's like, hey, we need to get this unit starting to get booked because it hasn't been getting booked. And literally the day of, and like the next few days, I was getting like 8 to 10 reservations every single day. Every day. I was like, what is going on? Like, and I didn't adjust the listing. I didn't do anything to it. I didn't have to force it. All I was doing was holding my light.
Oh,
Yeah. So that is the power that you have whenever you hold your light. All of the right people, circumstances, everything is going to be start to get drawn to you. And all your job is to hold that light and just
that's it.
Stay in it.
Yeah.
And so what we have here at I Am Divinity is we have an affiliate program, partner program for you guys. So as you guys know, I know it's been like literally the next like 2 days for the last 2 weeks. But whenever it comes to like developer systems and all that stuff, like they literally keep telling you like, hey, like, okay, 24 hours, and it's like 24 days. But hey, it's better to have it perfectly done than to have things kind of messed, glitching here and there. So we have like some really good people on our team. We're literally on the very last step. Literally, I just talked to Will. So what's gonna happen is right now the membership portal is completely 100% free for you guys to get access to. In the next probably like today, tomorrow, we're gonna send out an email for you guys to sign up as affiliate partners. What it'll ask you to do is, if I'm not mistaken, you'll need to create a crypto wallet, which I would recommend doing that now. So that way, as soon as the email comes in, you can sign up with that. And what will happen is you'll be able to, let's say, you are a partner and one of your buddies comes like, hey, what the heck is going on? Like, for example, I had a buddy that I've worked with for maybe 8-10 years. He's like, hey, dude, like I saw your story. He's like, can this process really help with addictions? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what happened for me.
Great answer. Great answer.
Yeah, because it's like if you're not willing to surrender, right? Like you're like there's no guarantee. It's not up to me. I can give you the process, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. That's free will. So I told him, like, this is what happened to me. I was like, I was addicted to coffee. I was drinking 4 to 5 cups a day. I was heavily addicted to marijuana. When I was in Thailand, I was smoking like 8 to 10 bowls a day. Sex, right? It's just like I was addicted to that. I was addicted to people pleasing, validation, all of these things. And within an instant, all of that's completely gone. Like I can authentically be me. Don's talking about, like 10 hits a day from women. Yeah, that's been happening as well. And like I'm talking about like drop dead gorgeous women hitting me up, and I'm like, no, if you're not like my divine match, I don't want you. Like respectfully, of course. And so like all that's completely gone. And I shared that with him, and he's like, hey, like if this actually works, I'm gonna be your biggest advocate. And this is one of my old mentors. Like he was the one that got me into the business, and he's like asking me for help and support. And so, I sent him the invite, and now he's said he's going to go through the process. Well, whenever the affiliate partner program comes out, what will happen is when they sign up, right? At first, it's going to be $2,000 US. As soon as they sign up, you'll get paid instantly to your crypto wallet. Instantly. So not only do we have instant transformations, we have instant payouts.
Where'd that go, bud?
Yeah, so that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, like there's no other company that has anything like that. Or, sorry, community. We're not a company.
Yes.
We just pay you for
catch.
helping build the community, right? And so the next step after that, just to kind of give you guys a little teaser, is we're coming out with the crypto bank. So the crypto bank is going to be next level as well. So you'll be able to have your own debit cards. And so you can sign up with that crypto bank. You'll have it linked to the affiliate, the partner link that you have. Yeah, and you have your own app. It's going to be called Divinity Bank or something. Yeah, so you'll be
I
able
don't even know some of this.
So you have this card, and you'll be able to like get paid out instantly, and you'll be able to spend it instantly. So super awesome. And then like as far as like we have the crypto fund, we have the Forex fund. You'll be able to sign up and just instead of going to like the whole like process that we have now, which is using like a crypto app and then like sending the money over, you can instantly just like use that to fund the brokers or whatever you want to do. But can you Will, is the crypto fund closed now since it just broke out? So the crypto fund is completely closed now. We're officially in a bull run. So if you got in, congratulations. If you didn't, well, I mean, you got next bull run, hopefully. But definitely take advantage of the Forex fund. That's 24/7, 24/7, 5 days a week, because the Forex markets are closed 2 days a week. But we're super excited. I mean, there's nothing better than building something that's actually going to make a real impact. like actually impacting people. I mean, I've built several different companies over the last 12 years, and this is what I've personally been looking for, not knowing that's what I was looking for, like as much, like I always like loved helping people make money, but I mean, now I get to help people access their divinity and then get paid for it really well. That's amazing. And so we're excited for you guys to obviously experience the divinity if you haven't. And then yeah, just share that light with people. I mean, there's literally no amount of marketing that you can do I mean, all you got to do is just market yourself. And that's personally what I've been doing. And we'll do some trainings for the intellectual mind, but it's really just being authentic. And like what I do is I just go on my stories and I just share my day to day. Like, like I've been talking about like the changes that have happened to me. Like I like hit the gym like twice a day now. I only sleep 4 hours. I'm building multiple companies. I'm able to do all this stuff. And it's because I'm in my light.
Yeah.
It's like I have infinite energy. And interestingly enough, my whole life I actually dealt with insomnia. And it's crazy because last night I went to sleep at like before 9 p.m. So and then like I never shared this with you either. I had digestive issues my entire life. And like it's just really bad. And ever since doing the divinity process, all that's gone. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Like we have something that can really solve any symptom because Don doesn't deal with symptoms.
No.
So
all it is a roadmap. All I'm looking for is putting a puzzle together. That's all it is. Putting a puzzle together. That's it. Yeah.
it's all energetic. It's all energetic, whether it's the finances, whether it's the health, whether it's relationships. I wish I had taken it a little bit more serious when I was married. And interestingly enough, like I actually I didn't tell you this either. Like a couple of days ago, I emailed Olivia and I just like was super like, hey, like I'm like I apologize and I see it for like what it was and everything. And she kind of like started attacking me, but like I just like surrendered to the process and I'm like, hey, like I just wish you freedom and infinite love to you. And like back in the day, I would have just started like fighting her back,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's truly like accessing your freedom within, and then like you hearing like Will's testimony with his wife, and Don and his wife, and just like all of the other stories, like there's really no denying it. I mean, we're barely even touching the surface of like what's possible. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And the larger this community grows and there's more talking about it and experiencing it, it's going to be like a prairie grass fire. And that's what it's like. And you are the one that's going to make that happen just by being in your light. Just by being in your light. And answering a question when somebody asks, not, you need to hear what I just did because you need to do this. Nada. Nada. It's like, Charlie, what the hell happened to you, bud? Where were you? What drug are you on? That's the one right there. Okay.
Yeah, there's no amount of force that you have to do. It's not like the old traditional model where you have to be in like this framework.
Not of selling.
Yeah, you don't need a prospect and write a list and call them 5 times a week.
No, here's what it is. You look different. There's something going on. What is it? That's the one. That's it right there.
Yeah, and we're not saying that you don't have to necessarily, you can invite people. We're happy for you to invite people to these streams, but it's their choice. You're not gonna be like trying to shove down the next freaking lotion or potion or whatever to like this is gonna change your life. Like, no, that's not what this is about. But you will have the right people coming to you, regardless. And what I notice is they're actually like the people that these are a higher level kind of caliber person because they're open, their heart's open, they're ready to receive. It's not there's no level of force that's required. And it makes it your job way easier. You just got to be you, stay in that light, and I mean that's the best marketing you could ever do.
Yeah, yeah, it's so natural. It's really, really, really natural. Yeah, and you just answer their questions based on your experience. You know, how long did it take? A couple of hours. No, no, no. How long did it take? So be prepared for those kind of interactions because they're gonna, and you need to be gentle and not argumentative whatsoever, and yeah, and not forcing. So
So someone said, Amy Ting, do we invite them to Facebook first or to the Zoom or affiliate link? So I have a what is it called? A like I guess like a funnel that I created, which will kind of give you a little bit of structure for the intellectual mind. We'll do a little training on that. Probably like just let us get the affiliate stuff out to you guys first, and we'll talk about like what would be the like a good like flow to it. But really, what I would say is like first you want to just share your own experience. That's the biggest thing.
that is the major.
And then from there, you can go to, you can invite them into the Facebook group, where we're gonna actually upload a video, kind of just pinned, and you can like tag them there. And then from there, they can go to the Facebook Live or like the Zoom Live or wherever. Which I mean, they'll naturally probably just see that like if they're in the Facebook group, they'll be able to see that we're going live every day, and eventually they'll be like, hey, what the heck are they talking about? And from there, like you can I have it all right now. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe the next step would be to I'd have to look. I'm sorry. But we have like a whole system created so that way you can have somewhat of a structure so that way. But really, like I said, it's really just sharing your own light. From there, I mean, they're either about it or they're not.
The one that notices your light.
Mm-hmm.
To the one that notices your light.
And it doesn't matter if you're on social media, if you're in person, over the phone.
Right.
Energy doesn't, there's no distance. We're all connected. So they're gonna feel something.
Yeah, for sure. So very exciting. I trust you see it as exciting as myself and the team, and to have, you know, imagine like these 8 kids just jumping up and down, just like, hey, yeah. And all I did was say, hey. That's all I said. Hi, guys. Yeah, that's yeah, it's pretty amazing actually. And that's it. It's the only difference is it requires a little bit extra for an adult because this doesn't make sense. This doesn't fit, like they're going back and forth with that rather than, wow. Okay, there's something different about you, bud. What's going on?
The ego's a little bit more developed with the adults.
Yeah. They haven't started devaluing the heavy questioning. Yeah. It's like, yeah. And like even little babies, the mother holding her baby. About 3 weeks ago, there's this woman, she was pregnant, and I'm just sharing a few things that happened to me. And in this community, my sweetheart's community, and this lady is as big as a house, like seriously. Okay, dear, you must be going to have a baby here pretty soon. Like, this is pretty big. And said, yes, it's going to be 10 days. I do this one thing, and then it's a cesarean, and 6 days after that, or whatever, like whatever that was. I don't pay attention to it. And I said, oh, and I just put my hand on her tummy and started telling the little one that it was safe to come out. There was nothing to be afraid of, and that she will enjoy all of this. Just kind of communicating with her like that. And she was born the next morning. How was that? So that's the kind of power. Isn't that exciting? Isn't that exciting that we can remove those blockages that we have and others have? And some of you don't even have to remove them. The kids remove them on their own just by seeing a light. It's like, oh, wow, that's exciting. Who are you? What's your name? Oh, or they all just start giggling and laughing as a group. And then I just start picking them, I remember how I met my wife was quite interesting. Her name was Rahma. And I was in General Santos, Jensen, in the Philippines. And there's a town called Palamalak, which is, it's about a 20 minutes, half-hour drive from Jensen. So I used to go out there. There was a park there, and there was men and women doing their thing, doing fingernails and toenails and hair and all of that. But there was a wide entranceway beside the park, which was for a college that was behind. And so the kids used to come out and walk by and out onto the street. And so I used to and there was a curb there inside on where the kind of driveway was. And I'd just sit there, and there would be like 20, 30, 40, and they're like teenagers. They're like 14, 15, 16. And like this one said, so what's it like to be gay? Don't know, I'm not gay. What do you mean you're not gay? I'm not gay. Well, what are you doing with pink and purple? Well, that's a totally different meaning than gay. And then she started asking me all these questions. And then others started asking all these questions. And I got to explain the process, the I am divinity, and all those kind of things. And there was a couple there, a couple of girls. What age were they? They were in where the adults were doing fingernails and whatever, just behind this curb I was sitting on. And two of them started talking, and they said that they both had a phobia of drowning, a phobia of water, especially, but especially a phobia of drowning. I said, really? How long have you had it? Well, they said, we've been friends now. One was 13 and one was 15, and now they're 20. They were like, it's 10 years that they had these. And what was crazy about it was that they both near drowned together.
Wow.
And so every time they saw each other, it triggered their phobia of drowning. So we're constantly walking around with a phobia of drowning. Like, how crazy is that? And so I said, okay. And I'm breaking up the two pieces here. So one day I just took them out way over by a big tree, and did the process with them and removes their phobia of drowning. And it was like, you should have seen them. They were so excited. But now coming back to this other group, the one that asked me if I was gay and all of this, and they were, you know, all of them were getting involved in asking these questions that each one, when someone would ask it, and I give the answer, and then someone else would ask another question, and I answer that, and all of those kind of things. And then there was a point in time where there was 5 sitting on the curb, and then another lady. And I started talking to this, to the 5 of them, and then they had to leave, and I was talking to the other one by herself. And I kind of had a little bit of a crush on her. She wasn't one of the 14 or 15-year-olds. Anyway, I was just chatting with her and everything. And then I had asked her for her contact information. And so she gave me her contact information, but I didn't have any Wi-Fi. I didn't get the number. Okay, how am I going to connect with her? I know what I'm going to do. And I went and got, just one second. I got a poster like that. I got a poster, made up a poster, and I had a picture of me at the top. I said, hi, oh God, what was her name? I forget what her name was. I met you yesterday or the day before yesterday in the park. Your name is so-and-so, and you're in school to become a teacher. And here's my contact information. And so I went and got 10 posters, and I put them up everywhere, all around, all over the
Taking notes.
Yeah. Putting them on these, the trees and, the posts outside where people had to walk through to go to school, and, and then and it was funny when I went to the print shop, there happened to be about 10 kids there that were there for like a school, like they were there to learn, but it was a school thing and they were all, here I'm talking to this lady and giving her this information about this, the picture, and they're all like finding it so hilarious. And I wish I could remember her name right now. And anyway, so I went and I put them up all over the place, and got a ton of calls, emails, texts, phone numbers, whatever. And then I got this call.
Wow.
Okay,
We're so good.
Oh,
we're so
we're still good. Oh, okay.
This is my hotspot.
Oh, okay. And so anyway, let me see. Where was I on this?
You got a call.
Oh yeah, I get a call. Yeah, my name is Rahman. Oh yeah, back and forth. Yeah, I'd really like to meet you. I said, where are you at? I'm in Islam. Islam, where's that? Oh, so and so, because this is in the Philippines. And I said, well, how long a drive is that? It's 5 hours. I said, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Okay. And she said, okay, well, can I come see you? And I'm just saying this from just a story of just being myself. And you will be doing these crazy things that are just natural. And I said, well, you can come see me if you want, but I'm not going 5 hours to see you. I said, okay, where are you at? I said, I'm in the bow. I said, okay, how does tomorrow sound? Done. So she came to meet me, and she became my wife. So just us being ourselves, just being natural, and yeah, didn't do any dating. Just took place. And so, but the fun of, talking to these kids and them asking all these questions, and what's the colors, what's this pink and what's this purple and whatever, and then getting to explain how it's the higher colors of consciousness. And then I would have a chart to show them, and all the fear that you're in and you're afraid of failing and all of that. These are down here. And, here's these kids getting this just in casual, non-threatening conversation and having fun doing it. And them picking on me and me picking on them. And yeah, so anyway, so there you have it. That's in the day in life of Don Smith.
Wow, I never knew that was the story. That was the first time hearing that one.
Yeah, that was, and it was quite interesting. I found out later that she had 5 sisters. Yeah, 5. And one of her 5 sisters was sitting beside her when she was making the phone call to me. And when I asked her how long it would take, she said 5.5 hours. I said, yeah, no. And her sister said, Gabriel, ask him. Yeah, can just ask him if you can go there. Just so the sister was telling me this a little while later. So that synchronicity of life, that synchronicity, and us just being in our natural state of our divinity and just flowing.
Gilbert said, "Divine Pimp Daddy, Don Smith."
Exactly.
That's so funny. So Amy says, when I hear Paul and Donna, I feel so bad for me and my husband too. I can see how I reflect the ego on him and he will throw it right back. He doesn't want to hear all of these things I do and share that you can't change an old dog. And then she says, thank you, Don, for sharing you and your wife. I see hope.
You damn right. You get that hope in there. Okay? But remember, you're not trying to change him. You're trying to hold your light. And just like Will, how different is your conversation with that beautiful wife of yours now?
In love every day.
In love every day. Now, she could have said no, which would have made it a little different, a little more difficult. But your focus is not on him. Your focus is on you. Okay? That's where your focus is. How can I be in my light? How can I have my light shine? Okay? You're not trying to change him. You're doing what you can to be a brighter light. Did you get that? Okay? Your job is to be a brighter light. And your husband is either going to, I have to say these, he's either going to run for the hills, had enough of this, or I want this too. And I trust it will be, I want this too. And you're not holding your light for him. You're holding your light for you. Okay? That's it. Got it? Okay.
Yes, thank you,
So,
Tom.
yes, Amy. Oh,
Yes, I say yes.
so
I got that.
you know, these. So what it's about is just focusing on us. You're not doing this so your husband does it. You're doing this because you're doing it for you. And yes, it would be nice. It would be really nice. My first wife of 30 years, there was no way. And that was 25, 30 years ago. 20, I don't know. I'd have to sit down and figure it out. And she has not done a thing. She has not moved 1 ounce on the consciousness scale. And that's okay. That's okay. I would like her to do that for her child that's still alive. We already lost a child. And our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. You know, and she is back on the East Coast, and my sister, one of my 6 sisters, sees her on a frequent basis, and there's not 1 ounce of shift. And that's the free will. And we're not here to force them to do that. We're here to be in our light and see if they want to come with us. Not asking them, just seeing if they, there's something different about you. You used to be critical of me all the time. You're not now. What's going on? Or whatever. Or this is the first time you've made me dinner. Yeah. And that's the kind of thing that all of a sudden is, okay, what's going on? What have you been doing? Are you in another relationship or something? Whatever. Yeah. And then it's like, well, here's a, I'm not going to tell you about it. Here's a video, 10-minute, 5-minute, whatever, intro video, the one of me or the one of Jamie or whatever. Just listen to that, and if your interest, we can take the next step. So that's how you do that. No pushing and shoving and convincing and cajoling, and no, nada, because if you do, they'll come in for the wrong reason, and they will subconsciously sabotage it all the way through the process to make sure that it didn't work, and then blame you. So that's not how to do it. You just stay shining brightly. That's it. They get pissed off. Say, okay, I want the same. I don't know how you did it, but I want the same. And yes, it's always best if the both of you do it, and it's always best if you do it together. But once again, right now at this stage, yours is, most of you, well, there's some of you that are on here together, which is awesome. That is the best. But if they're not, then, it's still a chance individually. So there you have it.
Amy says, thank you. I got that. And can I work on my dandruff with divine light?
You're damn right. See, any physical, mental, or emotional symptom you have, you created. Okay? And it's like, the dandruff or the whatever, it's like that flaking, you're constantly getting rid of stuff that's not being effective for you, but you keep doing it, whether it's worry or anxiety or whatever those things are. Okay? And so by you aligning, and sometimes you might have to do something physically. What's that?
She said the other Amy thing is Janet.
The other,
I think Janet signed in through Amy's.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, dandruff is anxiety. That's simple. Okay, so what's anxiety? Anticipating something in the future that you don't think you'll be able to handle. That's what it is. Okay? And bigger it is, the more anxiety, it's from the more anxious you are and the more nervous you are about the world and the negativity that's happening, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in your health, whether it's you think you're going to die, like whatever. On and on and on. On and on and on. So that's what it is. So by shifting that, then that begins to disappear, and the dandruff goes with it. You know, I went to a doctor twice in 30 years. Went to a doctor twice in 30 years. What do you got there?
Amy says, wow, I can see that.
Right. See what? What's she seeing?
I think she's
Anxiety.
Oh, anxiety, yes. So anxiety has to do with the anticipation of the future. And
Yes.
not being, and pretty sure you're not going to be able to handle it like you weren't able to handle it before.
Mhm.
And so that's what that is. So what are you going to do about that, Amy?
I feel less anxious, so I do see
How much?
like
Okay, right now, how much less?
save 70% less.
70% less.
Yeah.
So my question is, what are you holding on to the other 30 for?
Physical wise, I don't think it would disappear in 2 days.
Oh, is that? Oh, I didn't know that you
Let me share. So
could.
I shared this before, but like I think it was like last week or maybe 10 days ago. I woke up. So the night before, okay, it ate like literally like probably like half a dozen of donuts. Okay. That was my way of self-sabotaging, even though I knew I shouldn't. I wake up in the morning, my throat is hurting like crazy, and I feel like I have an ear infection. And so I asked one of my friends, she's a nurse, and she's like, you have tonsillitis. So I ended up missing the live stream that night.
You couldn't
And
talk.
I was like in way too much pain, and so I was like, I told Jamie like, hey, like I'm going to just divine focus all day. I'd refuse to take any medicine. Like she's like, oh, you need this medicine and blah blah. I'm like, no, I'm good. So I divine focus like probably like 5 times that day. By the end of the night, it was like 95% gone. When I woke up the next morning, it was 100% gone. That's one story. The next week, I stubbed my toe. Some of you might have remembered. And my toe, I was walking on it for 5 days. Okay. And it literally swelled up like a balloon. It was so fat and there was pus in it. And I was looking on. Yeah, it was horrible. And I looked up because Don mentioned the mind body workbook. And so I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's because you're repeating old patterns. And I sure as hell was repeating an old pattern of entertaining a woman that I shouldn't have been entertaining. After that day, I told her like, hey, like you can't do this anymore. I divine focused and I'm like, okay, I feel a lot better. Like there's no pain, but there's like a bunch of pus in there. And I ended up like accidentally, right? Accidentally like hitting it on the side of like the refrigerator, and I swear to God, like all of the blood that was like just stuck in my toe, like just like went away. And yeah, now it's like completely, it was gone like within less than 24 hours of me realizing what it was.
Well, doesn't it make sense if he can create it in an instant that it could get rid of it in 24 hours? Like he did both.
Yeah.
He did both. Okay. Doesn't that make sense to you? Anybody? Okay. You can do these. I had migraine headaches, chronic back pain, psoriasis, the whole body. Not one doctor did one damn thing, and there's none of it. Okay.
And just to be clear, the only reason it took me 24 hours is because of me. It was nothing to do with the divinity.
We know that.
Yeah. Just so I can be clear.
So it's like I really, you know, I love that Debbie Shapiro book, the Mind Body Workbook. It just cuts to the quick. She's very, Louise Hay is good, but she's too generic. It's like, is this and this. But Debbie Shapiro, it's very accurate. And it is, you know, you'll start getting used to, oh, that's what's going on for me. Oh, I didn't know I was doing that. That's right. Until you don't need the book. You don't need the book. You just know that this is what this is. Okay. And so, yeah, it's like awesome. It's a dictionary. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, and the other thing is those are all symptoms. So whenever you're in your divinity, none of the symptoms show up. But it's good to know, of course, like, okay, this is why, this is, you know, and I'm sure that's probably one of the pieces that you kind of use to kind of understand like how it's all connected.
Yeah, and then when you do so much, then it's like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense that this physical symptom's happening because of what's going on with me and my husband, or because of what my little girl is having difficulty with, or whatever, that kind of thing. And then it's like, okay, now I just need to be in my light.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to be in my light. Now, I've got a couple of things going on because I am in my light. I'm so high in my light that I'm not saying that in a bragatory manner. I'm just saying, okay, I am really high in my light, and there's a couple of things that's happening that's had never happened before because my body is having difficulty at such a high level. That's what it is. So.
Can I just ask them to do divine focus and they will walk away, or they are so bright?
Okay, who are you
And
talking
light
about? Who's
just
they?
wanna
Who's they?
stay.
Who's they?
Yeah, who's they?
Oh, so
Oh,
sorry.
what about the lights on my kid's hair?
Go ahead, Amy.
I'll clarify. So I really see my anxiety is coming from my daughter's hair. She got lace from school. It's
You
like
got what in school?
Lice.
lace,
Oh, got
lice.
lice in school. Yeah.
And then it's on and off, on and off. And then I'm combing her hair every day. And then like, and it's just of like, is the blanket clean? Is the pillow clean? And yeah, can I ask her to do the divine light, and the lights will just walk away, or she got so bright that the lights will just want to stay?
Well, I can't imagine the last one happening, but yeah. But that's a great experiment for you to do, Amy, with your daughter. Create this wonderful connection of how you're going to use the light for that. And let me know how it fares out.
Okay, thank you. I'll do that.
I like people to figure out things on their own. Yeah, I very, 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 very seldom tell people what to do, other than this is what's going on. This is what's going on. This is why it's happening. And there's something happening for you that if you clean that up, there's a pretty big chance that will disappear. Whether it's ingrown toenail or cancer. You know, so yeah. So there you have it. So anyway, congratulations, you guys. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate you coming on the call. What do you got there, bud?
Gilbert says, I gave my friend with muscular dystrophy the process. I hope he tries it out. He would be a great testimony.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because remember, there's no such thing as that's too serious. That's too serious. Like Jamie's showing this probably a half a dozen times now about this guy that took my process, and he had been in a car accident. We're not talking about Gilbert here, talking about another guy, and he ended up in a wheelchair. And then after a couple of years or whatever, he was in a walker. And he had been in a walker for, I think, 5 or 6. Don't quote me on this, because
I think it's a couple of years, yeah.
a couple of years. And so he took my process. And the next day, he threw his walker aside and ran in the park. Okay, now, who are you going to tell in the average genre of people that story and expect to believe it? But yet there's a video of it happening. So it's like, no, it's like any and every physical symptom can be cleared up. Can be cleared up. And you decide whether you need a medication for it or not. Okay? That's up to you. So, gotta go. Appreciate you being patient with us. And so, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a magnificent day.
Yep. Maayon buntag, gabi, or hapon. Yes, learning some Filipino, what is it called? Bisaya for my future Filipina goddess. So we'll see. We'll see you guys soon. We have the affiliate partner coming out very shortly, so just stay posted. We'll keep you guys posted in the chat as well. Infinite love from us to you,
You betcha.
and we'll